we're back. Another month of marriage, 2 months down now.
Yeah.
And we're excited just to connect with you guys about what's going on in the mission field. We're going to talk a little bit today about what's happening in the U.S., what's happening internationally. Rebecca's going to tell us what's happening in places like the Philippines. And then just a little bit about us, just so you can continue to track along with us in our new marriage here. But the first thing is that I'm full on with a ministry called All America that operates out of this campus. We are all over the United States helping believers just like you mobilize and pray for every person in their community. And that is the vision, that every person would be prayed for in America, engaged with the gospel, and would be given discipleship in some way. So there's so much happening in Kansas. We have a community in Topeka that is going to feed the entire population in the Topeka area. We have 100 evangelistic block parties happening in Great Bend that community has put on, and we're just resourcing them the best we can. I fly out to Dayton, Ohio in this next couple of days to help them with a community launch where they hope to see every school adopted in prayer, and also starting school clubs there, as well as many other initiatives in that area. So a lot of exciting things happening in the country.
Yeah. The other thing that's going on locally is we are so excited to see our fall DTS quarter start here coming up in September. And even in the midst of everything going on with COVID, we are going to have 50 students here on our campus. We're working right now to get everything clean and sanitized, make sure everybody's safe, and praying that countries open up and so they can do their outreaches internationally. And if not, then we're going to go ahead and do them locally. So we're just excited to see that in the midst of everything going on, that the Lord is still stirring the hearts of young people to really utilize this time to make a difference in the mission field. And so we're so stoked for the kids that are going to be coming on this campus and doing their DTS this fall quarter. The second thing that we also want to update you guys on is what's going on internationally. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the Philippines and with our sister campus there in the Philippines. So Jeff, what's going on in the Philippines right now?
Well, yeah, so because of the recent COVID scare in this last year, the Philippines has really had a huge issue with hunger. Many people are actually dying of starvation. So our sister campus in the Philippines, they're doing their best to continue operating, and honestly it's been a bit of a struggle for them, and so we've been continuing to pray for them, send them support any way we can. But they've started, in the midst of this whole thing, they've started this ministry to feed people who are starving, and they've seen so many people respond to the gospel. So if you think about the Philippines, please pray for a relief, just a relief. That is going through such a tough time as a nation, but also pray for our friends and our sister campus in the Philippines as they continue to do an amazing work there in the South Pacific.
Yeah. And additionally to that, we also have 7 missionaries who have come. They're living here on our campus. And even though the borders are technically closed to be able to get into the Philippines, they're here doing their training, prepping, getting everything set so that as soon as the borders lift, that they're able to go minister in the Philippines with our team on our Philippines campus. And so it's such a joy to be able to see how our campus is so uniquely tied to our base in the Philippines, and watch how, as we're training up this team of missionaries to begin to go out and do long-term missions there, that we're just able to see the fruit of what the Lord is doing in the Philippines.
That's right. And it seems like the more things change, the more they stay the same, right? That's the way it goes. And we are just realizing that God is still on the move in the nations. He is winning. Jesus is bringing in people by the droves to his kingdom. And so even in the midst of this, we're really encouraged by what's happening in the nations, and you should be too. A little bit about us. We're in the process really of praying through the next year and even plus of, what does God have for us and what are we supposed to do in terms of setting rhythms. We're 2 months in, and we're so enjoying marriage, and we've set some really great rhythms and guidelines. I get up a little bit earlier, she gets up a little bit later. It's all of those little things. Those of you married couples know exactly what we're talking about. So it's been a great first 2 months. And Rebecca, has there been anything that's been like surprising or something that's caught you off guard maybe in the first couple of months of marriage?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I wasn't expecting is just how natural it's been being married. I feel like we really did a lot of the hard work in our dating and engagement season, and it's been such a blessing just to be able to, it's just been so smooth. Obviously, we're 2 months in, so we're like newbies at this thing, but we've just felt so blessed by the Lord in the midst of getting married in a pandemic and figuring out life in missions together as a married couple. I just think it's just been surprising how much grace that the Lord has had on our marriage so far in this whole thing. What about you?
Yeah, amen. I think for me, the level of camaraderie that I've had with Rebecca, although you expect that with your wife, it just goes beyond words. And so this last season, not only of marriage, but engagement, where Rebecca's right, we dealt with a lot of stuff. We were very intentional, and the Lord's just had his hand on it. He's really blessed it. And it's one of those things where it is a supernatural thing, marriage is, right? And it takes the grace of God, and I've really felt the grace of God on me, and I think we felt it on our marriage. So.
Yeah. So thank you so much just for tuning in. We just wanted to jump on and give you an update, do it a video, give you a sneak peek into our life. This is our little apartment behind us. So it's been fun to kind of join in together. So we will see you guys next time. Thanks for your prayers and support. We love you guys.